Oh, hi there, big boys, and welcome to my review of Church in the Darkness for the Nintendo Switch. I don't know about this game, honestly. A part of me thinks it's quite impressive what they've done here. The other part of me thinks you can finish the game in 5 minutes. The stealth isn't very good, and yeah. Right, let's get started. Okay, so it's a roguelike stealth game. This is the bit which annoys me. Once again, it's a roguelike, just like the game I reviewed yesterday. It's a roguelike. So basically, stuff is a bit different each time you do it. The leaders of the island you're going to try and save people from are slightly different in some way. The people and the objectives you meet and do, that doesn't make sense, are different, but the actual map stays the same. So you can sort of learn the map. The map is quite large, admittedly, but it doesn't take too long to get around it once you know what you're doing, so that's actually a good thing in my opinion. You can run very fast, which means you can basically run to wherever Alex is who you're trying to save, and then run home again in literally 10 minutes. I mean, obviously the thing is, you've got to try and find out where Alex is, which you won't know unless you've done some other objectives, and then obviously, depending on what you do then, that can change other stuff, like, all sorts can happen. I think at one point I got kidnapped, and then I had to try and escape, and that was quite cool. Yeah, there's lots of different stuff which could happen, but this is what I don't like about roguelike games, is that since that's a mechanic, it means the game's quite short. Or it can be like 5 hours if you wanted it to be, I suppose. But that'd be a bit weird. And so, yeah, I'm not sure about that really. And also, here's another thing: there's only one save state, and that's, I think, only on easy. I think if you're playing on harder difficulties, you don't get any save states. You can save and exit at any point, which is fine. But you can't then go, oh, I want to go back to my previous save file, which is, I understand it's a roguelike game and it's designed to not be played like that, but it does annoy me because that's not really how I enjoy games like this. Because otherwise it means I have to start again. I don't enjoy starting again over and over again and having to. I mean, I know you can literally do it in 5 minutes, and yeah, it doesn't really. It's not a great loss, but it's just a bit annoying. You do sort of unlock new stuff, like you get new starting equipment, but there's nothing like permanent. There's not like an overarching upgrade system or anything like that. Which, to be fair, I don't think this game would need. My main problem with the game really is the stealth isn't that good. It's quite easy to just run past them. When you sprint, that doesn't actually awaken the guards, I guess. You really have to get into their stealth cone, which is a bit silly, I think, because you can go running straight past them, even from behind, run straight past them, then melee kill them or whatever, and it just looks a bit silly. But I do obviously like, since this is a roguelike, it does a lot of clever choice making stuff, like if you choose to kill everybody, then you'll start having like people going around acting more scared, and you'll get these what are they called, like sort of public announcements going around saying, oh, they've killed one of us, I knew this day would come, whereas if you subdued them then no one would know and they'd still be alive. So that's quite cool. I like that stuff, and obviously, you know, there's twists and turns depending on what happens to you on your playthrough. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game, and given it is a sort of not plug and play, but you can have a quick game every so often, it does sort of work quite well on the Switch in that way. But yeah, so yeah, speedrunning the game is quite trivial, to be honest. You just sort of run in, run out. The AI is not very good. It's quite easy to fall just by walking away, especially since the gun you get can just kill them. It's a bit odd, but to be fair, if you get more than one enemy, you will probably be screwed. You can't really fight back from that. The only way to fight back from that is to run away, which is good. That's something good there. So you can't just immediately. I mean, you could go in the guns blazing. You probably could do it, but it wouldn't be easy because you'd run out of ammo probably. So the game runs at 30 FPS on Switch in portable mode. It hasn't got any haptics or anything like that. No touchscreen support. So yeah, it's not an amazing port, but it looks decent enough. It's sort of got a low poly art style, looks okay, but does suffer quite badly from aliasing, so lots of, the pixels being visible, and it's got some repetitive assets as well. You can't, you sort of see the same stuff over and over again during the entire map, lots of trees everywhere. Yeah, so all the different endings and things that can happen is genuinely quite impressive, to be fair. Just when this is one little island, they've got loads of different endings. I think there was like 20 different endings you can get. And obviously little stuff that happens in between each one, depending on what choices you make and stuff like that. So it does have replayability, but I have to say, unless you're a big fan of roguelike stealth games where choices matter, which I'm personally not. I'll play stealth games, but I don't really like roguelike games, and I guess Choices Matter is alright, but not enough to go for it a billion times. But yeah, so that's my opinion on this game. I think it's alright. I think it's worth playing if you're into this sort of game, but I think for the average guy, be warned, this game is not like a 10-hour long stealth adventure. It's a 5 to 20 minute long stealth game you repeat over and over again with different changes and admittedly not very good AI. But yeah, it's not a terrible game by any stretch of the imagination. It's just could have done with a little bit of polishing, I reckon. Honestly, but yeah, it's a good game. It's still not a bad game at all. So that's Church in the Darkness, or Churches for the Darkness, or something like that. Church in the Darkness for Nintendo Switch. So thanks for watching, big boys. See you at some point in time, and bye.